Have you ever noticed Houston is full of different ecosystems? From watersheds, bays, prairies, marshes, to forest, Houston has a lot to offer. Houston is the Bayou City. Look at all of these waterways that drain from west to east into the Gulf of Mexico. What waterway do you live near? Two major watersheds in our area that drain directly into Galveston Bay, the San Jacinto and the Trinity Rivers. Our bayous provide critical freshwater inflows to our bays and estuaries. They are habitat for birds, fish, and insects. Do what you can to keep trash out of our waterways. Galveston Bay is the largest of many bays and estuaries along the Gulf Coast. Estuaries are among the most productive ecosystems in the world, and 95% of fish species in the Gulf are dependent upon the bay. As freshwater flows in from rivers and bayous, the nutrients feed seagrass and plankton. These autotrophs, or producers, turn sunlight into energy through photosynthesis and form the base of the food web. Oysters filter water in order to eat plankton, and oyster reefs provide habitat for small fish. Oysters also filter out sediment, helping to clean out the bays. Red drum and spotted sea trout, two popular finfish, are predators in the system. They spawn in the bay but often return to the open ocean when bay temperatures are too cold. Other predators include birds like brown pelicans and herons. The coastal prairie stretches from the coast towards the west, near Katy and El Campo. The Atwater's prairie chicken is an endangered bird that once thrived on the prairie, but it now depends on us to protect it. Almost 1,000 different plant species have been documented on coastal prairies. These plants absorb rainwater into underground aquifers and provide food for pollinators, like the monarch butterfly and birds, especially migratory birds. Along the Gulf Coast, you will find our coastal marshes. Coastal marshes are a sanctuary for birds and a nursery for fish. You may also see an alligator. Thanks to laws to protect them, this species made it back from the brink of extinction. Marshes soak up water and return it to underground aquifers. They also serve as a buffer to hurricane storm surges and absorb an extraordinary amount of carbon dioxide, reducing the effects of climate change. Just north and east of Houston, there are many remaining stands of forest, as seen in this map. Forest floors are full of organic material, or humus. This leaf litter makes up the O horizon and soil structure, like you see in this chart. Decomposers, like lichens and fungus, help to return essential nutrients to the soil. Forests contain very rich soils that are full of life, and many places in our piney woods have ephemeral ponds. They hold water during rainy weather, but dry out during our hot summers. In these areas, look for frogs and turtles. And giant bald cypress trees have extensive root systems that often stabilize the banks of creeks in a riparian zone. Along Spring Creek on the north side of Houston, as seen in this map, floods have eroded away much of the banks of the creek. To combat future erosion, conservationists are replanting the river's birch and willow trees along the bank. Our piney woods are used to regulate forest fires, which clears the yaupon and shrubbery so that grasses can grow. In systems without fire, the shrubbery continues to grow and choke out grasses. Forest fires are used as a management tool in the Goodrich-Jones State Forest near the woodlands. You can see both primary and secondary succession here in the forest. Well, there you have it. Houston has a bunch of unique ecosystems to visit and explore. If you're interested in learning more about them, check out these websites.